Oh, why are these all stuck together? I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude.
Story-rich games have always been a hot topic. I've always enjoyed them and love the experience they give to you. Anyway, I wanted to share with you my top 5 list of best story games I have ever played. If you disagree with my list, please tell me what your list would look like in the comments below. Remember, this list is based off my experience and my opinions, so don't bash me too hard. I will try to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but I am giving a warning now that I will be summarizing each game. Before we begin, I'd like to remind you that I have a sheet of story games that I've played through and rated, showing the time it took to complete and the overall score I gave it. By the way, every game on this list was rated a 10 out of 10. Starting with my number 5 spot, I have Firewatch.
Are you drunk?
No! I am getting drunk.
Now, I've recently played this game, and to be honest, I love every second of it. From a beautiful environment to interesting dialogue, it seemed to amaze me throughout the whole story. You explore Henry's past, and he needs some time to take off. He takes a summer-long break in an area where he lives in his own lookout tower. You speak with Delilah throughout the whole story using a radio. She directs where you need to go, and you explore everything together in a way solving a great mystery of her old friend. For this game, I gave the story a 9.5. I thought it was almost perfect, except that it only took me 2.5 hours to complete it, which is way too short for me. For gameplay, it is rated at an 8.5. And finally, for graphics, I gave it a 9.
Sexiest androids in town. Now I know why you insisted on coming here.
Coming in at my number 4 spot, I have Detroit Become Human. Now, the one thing that all these games have in common is their great story, and their uniqueness. This story allows you to take the role of 3 androids by the names of Marcus, Kara, and Connor, all with unique stories. You get to go through each of their individual lives and make important decisions to keep them alive. It can be somewhat of a challenge to make the right decisions at times. The goal of the game is one big protest against the humans. You want to convince the humans that androids are people too, and have feelings. Overall, this story surprised me. It is amazing that developers make worlds like this that are just so different, and they continue to create this plot that can go many ways. Starting with the story, I give this one a 10. The gameplay got an 8.5, and the graphics got a 9.5. Moving on to my number 3 spot, I have Cana, Bridge of Spirits. This is another unique title, and it has a lot to offer. The story was great, but I think the overall gameplay and combat, along with the cinematics, is what got me to rate it so high. There isn't a ton to say about the story, but you take on a spiritual girl named Cana. She explores 3 different people's pasts, and how a mask changed them into this thing that you eventually have to defeat. With the help of your staff and your bow, you're able to defeat these bosses. Although this was sort of a shorter game, I still gave the story a 9. The gameplay as well as the graphics are both listed at a 9.5.
You want to see something spectacular? You're gonna point at your face, aren't you? Nothing is that spectacular. Oh, brother. Come on, stupid.
Coming in at number 2, we have The Last of Us Part 2. This game is just overall astonishing. It actually has the highest average overall on the whole entire list. Starting with the story, you play half and half between Ellie, who was introduced in the first game, and Abby, who is a newly introduced character along with her clan called the Wolves. Heading 5 years after the first game, this is a story all about revenge and hatred. Ellie's mission is to set out and kill every last one of the wolves. She is also visited by another group called the Seraphites, who she also begins to take out. It's practically her versus everyone. The story is a bit longer, but by the end you understand it all, and it also leaves you with a cliffhanger. Naughty Dog has already announced a part 3 for the series, and I'm hoping for it to come out within the next 5 years. They do a really great job of adding in all the extra Easter eggs and other cool items that you can explore. This story for me, easily a 10, although many could disagree with that. Gameplay comes in at a 9.5, and the graphics are a 10.
Yeah, sure, Joel. Go ahead. Take my card. Take all my food, too, while you're at it.
By the looks of it, you could lose some of that food.
Finally, we have my favorite game of all time. And as you can probably guess based on the last game, It is The Last of Us 1. Although the gameplay and graphics are not on par with The Last of Us Part 2, the story is just one that cannot be beaten, and it's just my favorite to talk about. They did recently make The Last of Us Part 1, which has updated graphics and gameplay, but I still have yet to get it. For now, I am talking about The Last of Us Remastered. You start playing as Joel's daughter, Sarah. It starts with how the outbreak started, and then you all of a sudden jump 20 years into the future. You meet with Marlene, who is the leader of the Fireflies. The Fireflies are a group committed to stopping the infected and finding a vaccine. Anyway, she owns guns that Joel needs, and in order to get those, he needs to do her a favor. His job is to smuggle Ellie to St. Mary's Hospital to reach the Fireflies. When he does that, plans change, and they end up going across the country to get her there, and that's when everything goes down. The timeline and plots of this game are just incredible. The story has it all, from character development to emotional attachment. For that, the story is a 10, in which many fans agree upon. Unfortunately, the gameplay gets a 9, and the graphics only an 8.5. I hope you enjoyed my list of top 5 story games ever created. It would really help if you enjoyed this video to like and subscribe. I'd also like to see what opinions you have in the comments. Don't forget to leave your top 5 down there. Anyway, that was all for today, and I hope to see you in the next one.